today we are going to make stuffing, a real stuffing. Everything from scratch, delicious. It's going to be great. So first we're going to go through the real essential ingredients for stuffing, right? You need to have red pepper, green pepper, celery, carrot. Mushroom is optional, but onion is very important. Now, I do not no box stuffing, but we're going to use stuffing in a bag, right? Stuffing, and this is just pretty much just like dried up bread crumbles in a bag, right? So it's not really seasoned. Well, it's got a little bit of seasoning, but you really have to know how to season to make bread, make stuffing. So I like cornbread stuffing. That's my favorite, but you can also make like the plain stuffing, and you're just gonna make it the same way as you're gonna make the cornbread. Okay? So the rest of the seasonings, the rest of the things you're gonna add into a mush, or for seasoning purposes only, flavor purposes only. Okay? So we're gonna add our onion, mushroom, Lipton onion soup, the onion mushroom. We're gonna have always our onion powder. This one requires oregano, paprika, garlic powder, coriander, sage. We're gonna add some chicken broth base, and I'm going to use grape seed oil. My go-to is always olive oil, but this was cheaper. The price of olive oil is getting crazy. And I'm also gonna have some Smart Balance. This is margarine. Okay, so let's get to work. Now this is not a complicated. It's involved. It has a lot to it, but it's not real complicated, especially when you have the right tools. So you want to have, to make this really easy, you want to have some type of chopping device. And that's why I love, for my stuffings, I love to use my food processor. So I'm going to show you how good a food processor works when it comes to making stuff like stuffing that has a lot of components. Okay, so first we're going to take out, do our vegetables. We're going to do our vegetables. So I'm going to take this one stalk of celery. Now I'm only making a small portion because it's not Thanksgiving. I'm just doing this to show you guys how to make stuffing. So I'm making a small portion, and I'm going to use half of this stalk of celery, but you're going to wash it first because celery is always dirty. So I'm just going up and down the stem, just rubbing all the dirt off. Make sure it's clean. I'm going to break the tip off, break off the tip, and I'm just going to use the middle part actually. I'm just going to throw this in there. Actually, let me just break it in half, put it in a food processor. I'm going to use carrot. Again, I'm not making a whole lot of stuffing, so I'm going to use this little skinny carrot. You don't have to peel it, you have to wash it, but you don't have to peel the carrot. You can, but you don't have. Okay, so I'm going to cut this carrot. I'm going to cut off both ends. And then I'm just going to cut it in half. And I'm just going to drop it in the food processor with my celery. I have just 2 mushrooms. I'm going to wash them off good. Rub all the dirt off, and then rub the dirt off, rub it off. Around the stem tends to be a little dirty on the end. Okay, these are washed good. I'm just gonna put the whole thing right in the food processor. If it doesn't fit, I'll break it up a little bit. Okay. Garbage in my garbage bag over here. Okay, now for the green pepper and the red pepper, I'm just going to cut a small section, just section out of that, and I'm gonna break it off and make sure I don't get any seeds. And again, I just drop it in. I don't have to cut it up, just drop it in. You don't have to rinse it off. Just cut a small section, one of these sections off, break it off at the top, no seeds, drop it in. Okay. And the onion, I'm gonna cut just a chunk of onion off, peel off the skin. I'll cut this in half just to make sure it fits. So I have like 2 sections. I think I'm going to put 1 more. Stuffing can tolerate onion. It really brings out the flavor in it. Drop it in. Make sure it goes in. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Okay, so those are our veggies. That is the heart of our stuffing. The only other thing that normally gets added into stuffing would be sausage. So I generally would use like sausage with more stronger flavor, which would be like a beef sausage, and you cook it up first. You fry it up first. Normally I would fry the sausage up first really good, or cook it up first really good, and then I would put it in the food processor with the vegetables, and I just let it all chop up and blend together. Okay, so now I'm just gonna push, make sure everything is in here tight. I'm just gonna pulse it and let it just chop it up into small pieces. So that quick, everything is just chopped fine, and that's the way you want it to be. Wow, smell. Strong. Very good. So the smell is coming through, and that's how you know you're gonna have flavor in your stuffing. So you take a look. This is what we want it to look like. Nice and fine, chopped up. Now we're going to take this and put this in our pan. Right? Now we're gonna put this in a pan. In a pot. Just gonna scoop it into a pot. Now, even though I use the small chunks, this is a lot. You know, it really makes a lot. Go ahead, it's fine. Goodbye. Goodbye. so this is how much is in our pot. This is what we got. So next we're going to, next we're going to start adding all of our seasonings. All right, so let's start adding our seasonings. So we have our sage. Just going to sprinkle the sage in there. Sprinkle it all around. Okay, our goal, since we don't measure, is to make sure we can see it sprinkled over the top. This is coriander, so you want to go like a little bit lighter with the coriander, because that tends to have like a spicy on a hot side. Gonna add our paprika. You don't have to go heavy with any of these seasonings because these vegetables are flavorful already. Right, next we have garlic. Lost the top to that, so we're just gonna be careful how we sprinkle that on. Top fell in the garbage. Okay. We have oregano. Oregano is important to this dish. Sprinkle it over the top. We're going to add our Lipton mushroom soup, onion mushroom soup. Lipton onion mushroom soup. That's a nice amount. Right, that's what this is. And let's add our onion powder. Not too heavy because we got the Liptons in there. Let's get a spoonful of our broth-based chicken. Let's get that spoonful in there. You don't want a whole spoonful. I mean, if this, just a little. Keep that. And we're gonna add our grape seed oil. We're just gonna pour some of that in there. Not too much. And we're going to add water. I'm gonna add water. Okay, so at first we're just gonna add enough water to make sure it's all wet. We're gonna let this cook just like this. Gonna stir it, make sure everything is mixed in. Okay, we're gonna let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so now it's boiling, and since this stuff is just ground up so fine, it doesn't have to have any, it doesn't have to have a lot of cook time. That's not necessary. So we just want to, once it starts boiling good, it's all boiled up, then we can add our stuffing. I'm only going to add maybe half a pack of stuffing in here. Half a pack of stuffing. just gonna pour that in at the top. Just gonna pour that in, and we want the stuffing to absorb the water. So I'm just gonna stir it and see how it just absorbs the water. So you stir it till it's all moistened up. Oh my goodness, this is looking so good. And I already have my oven set to 350. Okay, so this is pretty much done. Now the last thing I do to my stuffing is I add my secret ingredient. My secret ingredient, which is cheese. I know it sounds crazy, but it makes it, it gives it like a certain richness that that is really awesome. I'm not gonna put a whole lot, and you're not gonna taste cheese at all. You absolutely do not taste any cheese. So I just mix that in good. Look at that. Now I'm gonna put it. So now I'm gonna put it into my dish. Okay. Okay, we'll taste it. That's good. So I'm going to put it in my dish, and I'm going to put margarine on top. Now let's add the margarine. Margarine on top. So this is gonna it's gonna bake up some now in the oven, and this is gonna keep it from being dry, and it's gonna make a nice topping, make the top nice, and then it's gonna be done. So I'm gonna put this in the oven now. It's set on 350 degrees, and this is really pretty much made. It's pretty much done. So we're only gonna leave this in the oven to melt the margarine, let it squish around, and we're gonna leave it in there for about 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes now. I let it stay in some extra time so the top can get nice and a nice little crisp on it. So let's take this out and see what we have. All right, well, there you have it. Beautiful brown top. Nice and moist, but not too dry and not too moist. All right, let's give it a try. Smells so good. Wow, look at that. That's nice. That's perfect. That's perfect. You can taste it's full of flavor. It's got a great texture. This is really good. This is really good. Like I said, it's nice and rich, and you don't taste the cheese. It just has a richness and a nice even flow with the seasonings all throughout. This is really good. You want to try it? Let me know in the comments how it's worked out for you. Like, share, and make sure to watch our videos to the end. And check in our Thanksgiving category and see for the other recipes that we have for the other dishes that we did for Thanksgiving. See you soon.